Okay, so this deep dive, we're jumping straight into the deep end with the source
Yeah,
material.
yeah.
It's excerpts from A Mediador del Infierno. And man, the opening scene, it's like a punch to the gut, you know?
I know exactly what you mean.
You are right there with Salomon. His hand is shaking. He's trying to get his key in the door. His breath is all ragged like he just ran a marathon. His heart is pounding out of his chest, and his first thought is, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
But then comes the truly terrifying realization he killed his brother and he escaped. And wow, that contrast, right? The physical panic versus that brutal reality. Man.
It's brilliant, right? You know, to start with that juxtaposition, it just plunges you right into the psychological chaos that he's experiencing, right? His body's reacting like it's a medical emergency, but the cause is something so much darker, something that he did. And it really just highlights how interconnected our physical and emotional states are when we're under that much trauma.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head there. So, okay, for this deep dive, we're zeroing in on these first few critical hours after this event. We're going to trace his steps, try to understand the fallout of this, the immediate fallout. What are the big decisions he makes in these early moments? That's what we're looking at today.
Yeah, and what a fascinating look it is, right? Because it takes us right to the edge of how humans behave when they're under immense pressure.
Yeah.
We're not looking at, was the killing justified or not at this point.
Yeah.
We're looking at the immediate, almost primal responses. Like, how does anyone process something like that?
Yeah, we're going to follow him as he heads back to what, in any other situation would be his sanctuary, his home, right? But he's not going to find peace there. There's a whole new set of crises waiting for him. We're going to see him confront what he did. He can't deny it anymore. And we'll witness this pivotal phone call that he makes to his old friend Gabriel. So strap in, folks, because we're going into some intense psychological territory here. And these early hours, really, they set the stage for everything that's to come.
Yeah, these first few hours, they're really the foundation of this whole story.
Yeah.
Every choice he makes, every connection he tries to reestablish, every conflict he grapples with internally,
Right.
It all has lasting consequences for him.
Okay, so Salomon gets back to his house. It's a small but luxurious house, the source material tells us. But even as he gets to the door, his body's still in overdrive.
Right.
You've got the shaking hands, the panic attacks kind of wearing off, but it's still there. And his sense of time is all messed up. It's like everything's been in slow motion since the shooting.
That's textbook. Classic signs of an acute stress response.
Yeah.
That fight or flight response kicks in and time gets all wonky. That's one of the things that happens. Your brain, it's trying to keep you alive.
And then there's this crazy contrast, this inner turmoil, and then this expectation of safety that a home usually provides. You come home, you relax, you feel safe, but not this time.
No, not this time. The physical shaking and the time distortion, and it's all signs of that, the survival mechanism kicking in.
Yeah.
But his home isn't safe anymore, not after what he did.
So he steps inside, and for a second, just a split second, the shaking stops. It's like his home, like the familiar surroundings. They offer this brief moment of calm, but then, bam, that alarm system goes off.
Oh, man.
Piercing sirens right in his ear, and that little bubble of calm, it's shattered.
What a brutal reminder that he's not safe, even in his own home.
And the pressure's on now.
Yeah.
10 seconds to disarm the system, and in his panic, he can't remember the code.
Oh, no.
Then it hits him, 2512, his aunt's death date, his aunt who represented like pure affection in his life. But now he can't stop the wave of anxiety, like what else did I forget? Back at the scene, every little detail feels huge now.
Right. I mean, that moment, that near lapse in memory, it just shows you how messed up his thinking is. And that fear about overlooking something at the crime scene, it just makes everything 10 times worse.
Yeah.
In this situation, even the smallest mistake could be the end.
He finally shuts off the alarm, and you think maybe now he can breathe.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't even want to turn on the lights. Like he's avoiding what he did. And then he collapses on the sofa, and that's when it hits him. The metallic smell of dried blood. It's all over his shirt.
Wow, the power of smell, right? It's like our most primal sense. Even before he sees the blood, he smells it, and it just slams him right back into the reality of what he did.
And the description is so vivid. It's like crushed berries all across his torso, his shoulder, down his sleeve, even up to his neck. This pristine white shirt, it's a gruesome map of what he did.
It's not just a stain anymore.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of what he did.
And then the horror he sees his hands. They're caked in dried blood, too. It's like his brother is literally clinging to him even after death. And that's where we see his emotional state change. It started with panic, but now it's disgust, this deep self-loathing. And it's not just about the blood, it's about him.
Like, that's a huge turning point. The blood on his hands It forces him to face what he did on a whole new level. And that image of his brother clinging to him, even in death, man, it's powerful stuff. It's the weight of his guilt.
Then there's this metaphor that the author uses, and it's perfect. His emotions are like a crystal glass balanced on a wobbly table at a drunken party.
Right.
It's so fragile, you just know it's going to fall and shatter. It's exactly how Salomon feels.
Yeah, perfect analogy. It's like his whole world is about to come crashing down,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know how to stop it.
And he wants to shower so badly, right? To wash away the horror. But that part of him, the lawyer part, it kicks in. And he knows showering would mean messing with evidence. And that's where you see this battle inside him, the need for relief versus the cold logic of the law.
It's fascinating, right? Even in this state of total emotional chaos, he's still a lawyer. It shows how ingrained that way of thinking is for him.
Okay, so here's a big moment in all this turmoil. Salomon realizes that the toughest part of this, the hardest thing he has to face, isn't the grief or the guilt. It's reaching out to the one person he really doesn't want to contact, Gabriel.
That is a major turning point. He's moving past just reacting to what happened. He's thinking strategically, even if it's out of desperation. He knows he can't do this alone.
And their past is a mess. Gabriel was his best friend until Salomon stole the woman he loved. And the source material really emphasizes that betrayal. It's like this dark cloud hanging over everything. And now Salomon sees this estranged friend as the key to getting himself out of this. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah, the betrayal, it adds so much complexity to this whole thing. Salomon caused Gabriel a lot of pain, and now he needs his help. It makes you wonder if their history can be overcome. Can it be a bridge, or is it just going to be a bigger obstacle?
He stands there, phone in hand, just frozen. He doesn't want to make this call. It's not just that he doesn't know if Gabriel will even answer. It's the question of, is there anything left of their friendship, any spark at all that he can appeal to?
You can't blame him for hesitating. Calling someone you've hurt that badly takes a lot of guts. And the chance of being rejected, it's huge. He's not just dealing with the legal fallout of what he did. He's facing possible emotional pain, too.
So he goes to his safe punches in the code 1225. That's his aunt's death date reversed. Another little reminder of her. And he takes out a burner phone and a handwritten number. It's like he planned for this moment.
It definitely makes you think, right, having that burner phone ready suggests that there was some planning ahead, even with all the chaos and the emotional turmoil.
But then he goes over to his landline. It's this big white phone with chunky buttons that belong to his aunt. It's a connection to his childhood, a crack in time, the source material calls it. And he's so attached to this old thing. But he hesitates to use it because he's worried about contaminating it with blood. Right. I mean, that attachment to the landline, it's so poignant. It represents a simpler time, a connection to someone he loved. And the fact that he's even thinking about forensic evidence at this point, it just shows you how aware he is of the legal mess he's in.
He finally dials the number. His head spinning. Don't sound desperate. He tells himself, don't say too much. And there's this underlying fear of even mentioning her, Ignatia. It's clear that that part of their past is a minefield.
Absolutely. Those thoughts, those internal directives, they show how carefully he's trying to manage the situation. He knows he needs to be strategic to get Gabriel on his side. And that fear of mentioning Ignatia, it's huge. It suggests that their shared history is something he really doesn't want to deal with right now.
The phone just rings and rings. No answer. He tries again. Still nothing. It's 5 in the morning. Maybe his phone's on silent. But Salomon, he knows how criminal defense attorneys work. They can't miss calls. They need to be available all the time.
Right. And that persistence, that coupled with his understanding of Gabriel's work, it shows that he's not just blindly panicking. He's thinking things through, trying to work the angles. On the 4th, try a voice answers Allo. But it's different. It's deeper, more tired, older. 8 years can really change a person.
Time and, a broken friendship, it can leave its mark on you. It adds this sense of melancholy to their conversation right from the start.
Salomon just says, Gabriel, it's me. And there's this silence on the other end. You can feel the weight of their past in that silence.
Yeah.
Then Gabriel speaks. Salomon. Damn, I wasn't expecting this call. At least he didn't hang up. So that's got to be a good sign, right?
It's something. That initial shock, the swearing, it's all understandable. He's surprised and probably still really hurt.
Yeah.
But he doesn't hang up. So, yeah, maybe there's a sliver of hope there. Maybe.
Salomon knows he's treading on thin ice here. I need to talk to you, but not on this line. Another pause, and this one's called, Then Gabriel explodes. Salomon, it's 5 in the morning. We haven't spoken in years, and how dare you? He cuts himself off. The anger's almost choking him. I can't believe you're doing this.
Man, the pain and anger in his voice is raw. It's like Salomon ripped open an old wound. The years haven't healed anything, and this, call it, forces Gabriel to face all those feelings again.
Salomon's desperate. I can't explain everything now. I just need you to listen. But not from this phone. Give me another number. One you don't use for clients or the office. Gabriel laughs, but it's not a real laugh. It's mocking, why not here? Besides, why the hell would I have a burner phone?
Asking for another number, implying Gabriel has a burner phone. It shows that Salomon understands the need for discretion in their line of work. He knows how things work.
Salomon's back in lawyer mode now. Because I'm a lawyer, just like you. And anyone who values their privacy always has a burner phone. He's not wrong, is he?
Nope.
And then Gabriel asks the obvious question, why call the landline in the first place?
He's suspicious, and rightfully so.
And Salomon's answer is brutal, because I knew you'd answer this one. He explains it all, how Gabriel can't ignore a call on his landline, how he hoped maybe, just maybe, Gabriel hadn't completely erased him from his life.
That's a low blow. But it's also a calculated move. He's playing on their shared history, on Gabriel's sense of duty.
Gabriel's not giving in, though. You haven't given me one good reason not to hang up and block you, like I should have done years ago. Man, that's harsh.
Yeah, it shows just how deep the rift between them is. Gabriel sees no reason to help Salomon. None at all.
Salomon changes tactics now. He admits that their friendship ended badly, but says he wouldn't be calling if it wasn't a huge emergency. He stresses that Gabriel's the last person he wants to drag into this. You can hear the desperation in his voice.
That shift in tone, it's important. It shows just how serious this is for Salomon. He's laying it all out there for Gabriel to see.
He begs him to just listen, but not on the landline. He doesn't want to risk getting Gabriel involved if he refuses to help. You know, he's trying to protect him, at least for now.
That's interesting, right? He's still thinking about minimizing the risk for Gabriel, even though he's the one who needs help. It's like he's trying to control the damage as much as he can.
Right. And then there's this sound in the background, a woman's voice. Who is it? A beat of silence. Then Gabriel whispers, it's just an old friend. He stops, then corrects himself, his voice cold and distant. It's just someone from the past.
Oof, that shift in description. It's like he's trying to downplay the call, maybe to avoid awkward questions.
Yeah.
He doesn't want this woman to know who he's talking to.
And those words, man, they hit Salomon hard. He knows it's true, but hearing it like that, it cuts deep. Then there's the sound of a mattress creaking, and Gabriel's back his voice hard. Give me a reason not to hang up, Salomon. I'm waiting.
Yeah, that moment, it forces Salomon to face the reality of their situation. He's not a part of Gabriel's life anymore. He's just a ghost from the past.
Salomon closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and forces the words out. Gabriel, it's about me and something I did tonight. He chokes on the words. I murdered a person.
That confession, man, it just hangs there in the air. It changes everything.
The silence after is deafening. Then Gabriel's voice. It's all business now. The weariness is gone. Give me a minute. He murmurs something to the woman, and then he's back, his voice cold and sharp. Write this down.
That shift in Gabriel is fascinating. The weight of that confession, it's like it flipped a switch in his head. He's pushing aside his personal feelings and going into lawyer mode.
Salomon scrambles for a pen. Gabriel rattles off a number. Call me on this number in 15 minutes. Not a second sooner, not a second later. That need for control, it's clear.
Right. It's like he needs to set boundaries to manage this situation that's spinning out of control.
Salomon manages a week. Thanks, Gabriel. But all he gets is silence and then a chilling, don't thank me yet. And the line goes dead, leaving Salomon with that electronic two.
That last line is cold. It's a reminder that Gabriel's not offering any real help yet. And that sound, that two, it's like a symbol of Salomon's isolation.
And that sound, that two, it does something to him. It's like his subconscious mind. He hears the echo of a gunshot in that sound, and suddenly he's flooded with guilt and these horrific memories. It's like a dam breaking inside him.
It's amazing how these little sensory details can trigger such huge reactions. That subconscious link between the dial tone and the gunshot just shows how deep his trauma goes.
He's right back there in that moment.
Yeah.
He sees himself pulling the trigger, hears the shot, sees the bullet hitting his brother's forehead, and then he breaks down. He sobs uncontrollably.
That's the breaking point. The carefully constructed walls he built up, they just crumble, and he's left with the raw grief and the guilt.
He cries until there are no tears left. He's completely drained. He doesn't even bother finding a tissue. He just uses his blood-stained sleeve. Even in that moment, there's a part of him thinking about contaminating evidence.
It's a fascinating detail, right?
Yeah.
Even in the middle of this breakdown, a part of him is still that calculating lawyer. It speaks volumes about his state of mind.
The house is silent now. The storm has passed. He looks at the clock, 15 minutes. They've gone by so fast. And now the big question, will Gabriel answer the second call? He has no idea.
Oh, wait, it's agonizing. He's totally at Gabriel's mercy now, and that uncertainty, it has to be terrifying.
He dials the number 1 ring, 2, 3, 4. Each one feels like an eternity. Then a voice, cold and emotionless, tell me. Not even a hello.
It's a power move, right? Gabriel's in control. He's making Salomon wait. He's making him beg.
Salomon's mind goes blank. He hadn't thought this far ahead. He didn't really think he'd get this far. The silence stretches on, and he forces himself to speak. Thanks for answering. Gabriel's reply is short. I still don't know why I did.
That inability to speak shows how overwhelmed Salomon is, and Gabriel's response, it's like a slap in the face. It's a reminder of how much work Salomon has to do to get him on his side.
Salomon tries to start explaining, but Gabriel cuts him off. Explain what exactly, Salomon? How can you even call me after what you did? That question, it hangs in the air, and Salomon can feel his hopes shrinking.
The past, it's right there between them. It's an open wound, and Gabriel's not ready to let it heal.
Salomon tries to address it head on. When the Ignatia thing happened, you and her, you weren't together anymore, Gabriel. He's trying to justify it, but it doesn't work.
Rung up Ignatia trying to downplay what happened. It's a bad move. It just makes Gabriel angrier.
Gabriel's voice hardens. But you knew what she meant to me, Salomon. And besides all that, you were supposed to be my best friend. Salomon closes his eyes. He can feel the tears coming, and he fights to hold them back.
Those words, they cut deep. They go right to the heart of the betrayal. It's a reminder that Salomon didn't just hurt Gabriel romantically, he betrayed his trust.
Gabriel continues, his voice raw with pain. You didn't just get together with her. She left being yours. And then like the piece of shit you are, you vanished. Salomon can't stop the tears now. They're silently streaming down his face.
The way Gabriel brings up their last meeting at the hospital after Ignatius' death, it just adds another layer of pain to this whole thing. It shows how much Salomon's actions hurt him and how deeply that loss affected him.
Gabriel, this is hard for both of us, and God, I don't want to bring all this up again. Gabriel's reply is instant and sharp. But you already have Salomon. The moment you called, you brought it all back.
Gabriel's right. Salomon can't escape the past. He brought it back with that phone call.
Salomon pleads, I don't want to relive the past, but this is something you owe me, to her too, and you know it. Gabriel's denial is harsh. I don't owe you anything, you piece of shit. Maybe I owed her something, but you, nothing.
But denial is brutal. There's no room for negotiation. Gabriel wants nothing to do with Salomon. He sees him as the source of his pain.
Anger flashes through Salomon, hot and bright. He clenches his fists. He thinks Gabriel's going to hang up, but he doesn't care anymore. He thinks to himself, of course you owe me. You have no idea how many lives I've saved, and I'm always the one who looks bad.
That thought that you owe me, it's interesting. It suggests that Salomon sees himself as someone who does good even if no one else sees it. It's a twisted kind of justification.
He pushes on. I'm in trouble, Gabriel. A problem that only someone who really knows me can solve. And like it or not, that's you.
Gabriel scoffs. Oh, really? And what am I supposed to do, Salomon? Take my neck out for you. Salomon's request is simple. Just come to my house.
That's a huge ask. He's putting Gabriel on the spot demanding his help, and Gabriel's not having it. He's suspicious he doesn't trust Salomon.
For what? To hear some story about how you're not really guilty? Gabriel asks incredulously. Is that what you want? So you can hear the whole story, Gabriel? Salomon says, his voice breaking. So you can understand what really happened, why I ran, and why I'm calling you to defend me if you even want to. He's trying to appeal to their shared past, to that idea that Gabriel knows him better than anyone. But it's a long shot. Gabriel's walls are high.
Silence hangs between them. Then Gabriel speaks, his voice weary. I don't know if I even want to understand. Salomon's voice is barely a whisper. Do it for her then, Gabriel. We were both there that afternoon. You made a promise, remember?
Bringing up that promise to Ignatia. It's Salomon's last card. He's hoping that Gabriel's guilt, his sense of duty to her, will be stronger than his anger.
On the other end of the line, Gabriel's hit with a memory. The hospital room, the smell of disinfectant, Ignatia, pale and weak. Her voice echoes in his mind.
Promise me you'll both go back to being how you were? It's a punch to the gut. It cuts through all his anger.
That memory, it's the turning point. It brings back the pain of their shared loss and reminds Gabriel of the promise he made. It's something he can't ignore.
Gabriel, you still there? Salomon asks, fear creeping into his voice. He's terrified that Gabriel will hang up. Gabriel takes a breath, trying to steady himself. Just tell me who you killed, Salomon, and what happened, and your answer is going to decide whether I stay on this call.
It's a test. He needs more information before he commits. He needs to know just how bad this is. Salomon's stomach clenches. This is it, the first time he'll say it out loud. It's not just the guilt, it's the shame, the pain, the rage. He takes a deep breath. I killed my brother. A heavy silence falls on Gabriel's end. It's not just the shock of the murder, it's something more, something he can't put his finger on yet.
That revelation, it adds a whole new layer of complexity to this story. Who was this brother? Why did Salomon kill him? What does it say about Salomon that he never mentioned him before?
Gabriel finally speaks, his voice thick with disbelief. Salomon, I was your best friend for years, and you never not once mentioned that you even had a brother. Silence hangs between them thick with unspoken questions and growing unease. When Gabriel speaks again, his voice is rough with anger and disappointment. What else, Salomon? What else did you hide from me all those years? Who are you?
That feeling of betrayal, it's deep betrayal. Gabriel thought he knew Salomon, but now it's like he's looking at a stranger. It makes you question everything about their friendship.
Salomon grips the phone. His pulse is racing. He has to keep going. Come here tomorrow, Gabriel, and find out for yourself. You want me to go to a crime scene? Gabriel asks incredulously. Is that what you're suggesting?
That's a huge risk he's asking Gabriel to take. Going to a crime scene could implicate him. It's a sign of Salomon's desperation.
No, it didn't happen here. I panicked and ran. I came straight home. I want you to come here because I need you to hear what happened, why I ran, and why I'm calling you to defend me. If you even decide to after you hear everything.
He's trying to reassure Gabriel to offer some control over the situation. But he's also emphasizing that Gabriel has a choice to make after hearing the full story.
The silence stretches between them, filled with tension. Then Gabriel speaks, his voice heavy with resignation. God, I know I'm going to regret this. All right, Salomon. Tomorrow morning at 10 sharp. Text me your address. He sighs. I'm not promising anything you understand. I'm just going to listen to what you have to say, and I assure you it will be until the very end.
Gabriel's agreeing, but it's reluctant and conditional. There's no guarantee of help, just a promise to listen. It's a small victory for Salomon, but a victory nonetheless.
Salomon closes his eyes, relief washing over him. Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel's reply is cold. I'm not doing this for you, Salomon, and you know it. I'm doing this for her. The line goes dead, cutting off Salomon's fragile hope.
That last line, it's a punch to the gut. It's a reminder that Gabriel's doing this out of obligation, not friendship. It's a harsh reality check for Salomon.
Salomon stares at the phone, his grip tightening. But for the first time that night, the feeling of being completely lost starts to fade. He's pulling himself together, starting to feel like a person again. The chapter ends with this image, this powerful image. In the chaotic party of life on the same wobbly table, the glasses holding the lives of both Gabriel and Salomon are teetering on the edge. And you get this sense that one of them, maybe both, is going to fall.
It's a great metaphor, right? It captures the fragility of their situation, the uncertainty of what's to come. Things are about to change for both of them, and it might not be pretty.
And chapter 2 starts with a dream, a very unsettling dream. Salomon's back in the hospital, reliving his last conversation with Ignatia. She's full of regret. She says she was foolish, that she played a part in ruining things between him and Gabriel. But she also acknowledges that they both messed up. And her voice pleads with them to fix it, to find their way back to how they used to be. It's a haunting reminder of a promise that was broken.
Yeah, that dream sequence, it's powerful. It brings back all the unresolved issues, the guilt, the pain. It sets the stage for what's to come.
He wakes up suddenly to someone banging on his door, disoriented. He realizes he fell asleep on the sofa. He looks at the clock. It's 10:02 a.m. Shit, he mutters. He straightens his blood-stained shirt, checks his breath, and opens the door, and there's Gabriel. 8 years have passed, but he looks much the same. Maybe a few more gray hairs, but he's not alone.
The fact that he's on time.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It suggests a level of professionalism despite everything that's happened.
Right.
But the fact that he brought someone with him that throws a wrench in things right away.
Beside him is a woman, Victoria. She's not particularly tall, but she has this presence, this quiet strength. Gabriel barely comes up to her shoulder. She's middle-aged. Salomon guesses. Maybe Palestinian, he thinks briefly. Her presence is immediately unsettling.
Victoria's arrival, it changes the whole dynamic. She's an unknown element, a wild card. And Salomon's already on edge, so her presence, it just adds to the tension.
She's dressed impeccably in a dark, tailored suit. Her long black hair flows down her back. Salomon finds himself fascinated, but not by her beauty. It's something else, something unsettling that comes from her.
It's that feeling of being judged, isn't it? Like she's seeing right through him, and Salomon's not comfortable with that.
He realizes what it is. It's her gaze. It's unwavering and intense. It's a mix of cold evaluation and judgment. There's no curiosity in her eyes, just certainty. And it reminds him of this judge he knew years ago who was Repetto. They called him the Granite Judge. He was so rigid, so by the book, that he once kicked a young lawyer out of his courtroom for having a tattered copy of the legal code. And he quoted Montesquieu while doing it, something about a nation that doesn't respect its laws being doomed to destroy itself.
That comparison to the judge, it's telling. It shows how Salomon sees Victoria as this figure of authority, someone who's going to judge him harshly. And that anecdote about the legal code, it highlights the importance of the law and the consequences of breaking it. It's like foreshadowing what's to come.
Victoria has that same aura of moral superiority. It's not just her appearance, it's her posture, her demeanor. It's like she's not just looking at him, she's dissecting him, forming an opinion. And Salomon he feels exposed vulnerable.
It's like he's on trial already, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's even said a word.
Gabriel breaks the silence, his tone flat.
Salomon, this is Victoria, my partner. Victoria smiles, but it's forced. It doesn't reach her eyes. There's no warmth there.
It's all business. There's no pretense of friendship here. It's a stark reminder that this is a professional visit, nothing more. I must confess, Victoria says, her gaze sharp. I was intensely curious to finally meet the individual behind the rather urgent early morning phone call, and particularly the one who managed to persuade Gabriel to delegate a rather important hearing and arrive unusually early at a prospective client's residence. As far as my understanding goes, he's never quite done anything of this nature before. Her words are laced with curiosity, but also skepticism.
She's not just curious, she's suspicious. She's trying to figure out what's going on between Salomon and Gabriel, what their relationship really is.
Gabriel doesn't react. He's completely stoic. But Salomon feels a strange sense of satisfaction. Gabriel's definitely treating him differently than he would a normal client. Maybe against all odds, there's still a spark of their old friendship there. Maybe.
It's a glimmer of hope, isn't it? That maybe their shared past means something to Gabriel.
But then he sees it. They're both staring at the bloodstains on his shirt. Their expression's a mix of concern and disgust. And the silence descends heavy and awkward. The evidence of what he did, it's right there for them to see.
The blood, it changes everything. It's a reminder of the reality of the situation. It makes it impossible to ignore.
Salomon, embarrassed, looks down at the bloodstains. Well, as you've probably guessed, the reason I contacted Gabriel is because I intend to turn myself in. Saying it out loud makes it real more terrifying.
It's a huge step. Admitting it out loud, it means there's no going back. It's a first step towards facing the consequences.
I sincerely hope you can both understand that it's impossible for me to change at this point, so please try to excuse my rather disheveled appearance. Victoria crosses her arms, her expression unreadable. Gabriel just nods awkwardly, looking around the room like he wants to come in.
Their reactions are interesting. Victoria's closed off. She's skeptical, maybe even disapproving. While Gabriel seems more conflicted, like he's caught between his personal feelings and his professional duty.
Please come in, Salomon says, stepping back. They enter cautiously hesitant, like they're not sure they should be there. Salomon feels their eyes scanning the room, judging, and a paranoid thought hits him. Are they looking for his brother's body? The thought makes him angry. Maybe they don't believe him. Maybe they think he's hiding something.
The paranoia is starting to set in. His guilt and the pressure of the situation, it's making you see threats everywhere.
He closes the door and leads them into the living room. I apologize that I can't offer you any coffee, he says, trying to sound calm. I don't believe it would be appropriate to wander around as if nothing has happened. Victoria raises an eyebrow but says nothing. Gabriel's silent too. Their silence feels heavy judgmental. It bothers Salomon more than he expected. He hadn't expected sympathy, but he'd hoped for some professional detachment. Instead, he feels like he's facing two adversaries. The shame he felt moments ago turns into anger.
He's going on the defensive. His perception of their judgment, it triggers that anger. It's a way to protect himself, to cope with the vulnerability he's feeling.
He clenches his fists subconsciously. He tells himself it's just paranoia, a natural reaction after what he did. He remembers conversations with forensic psychiatrists about post-homicide paranoia, how people who've killed often see accusations everywhere. He remembers a client who was convinced Salomon was working with the prosecution and demanded a new lawyer. Dr. Hector Manrique had explained it as a defense mechanism against guilt, a way to project their own fear. They also talked about cognitive dissonance, how if the person hasn't accepted what they did, they might believe everyone is judging them. Add to that PTSD, anxiety, hypervigilance, and it's no wonder they feel constantly threatened.
It's fascinating how Salomon's legal background informs his understanding of his own mental state. He's trying to rationalize his paranoia to make sense of it in a way that he's familiar with.
He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, trying to calm down. He knows he can't afford to lose control. He tells himself it's just stress and paranoia. He's a lawyer. He knows people commit crimes, panic, and then surrender. Sometimes lawyers go to the crime scene. Sometimes they wait at the police station. Sometimes a client stays home until they're ready to face the music. It's normal for lawyers to be observant in these situations. They're looking for details for anything that could help build a defense. Gabriel and Victoria, they're not judging him. They're doing their job. He's already confessed, so it's not about proving his innocence anymore.
He's grasping at straws, trying to convince himself that their scrutiny is professional, not personal. It's a desperate attempt to regain control of the situation.
He subtly takes another deep breath, trying to steady himself. He opens his eyes and looks at Victoria. Her composure bothers him. He knows he and Gabriel are different, but at least they have a history. There's a chance he can convince Gabriel to help him. But Victoria, she's a complete unknown. Her presence makes him uncomfortable more than he wants to admit. If he wants to get through this, he needs to find a way to get her out of the picture. He needs Gabriel.
Victoria represents a threat to Salomon's plan. She's an obstacle. He sees Gabriel as his only hope, and her presence is like she's standing in the way.
The living room is spacious and elegant. A dark wood coffee table sits in the center, surrounded by a gray sofa and